penduduk Punggol East, salam sejahtera. 亲爱的朋友居民，晚上好。Voters and residents of Punggol East, good evening. It is my pleasure and honor this evening to speak with you. I stand here tonight in support of the Workers' Party's candidate for Punggol East SMC, Ms. Li Lian. Before I say a few words about her, I want to share with you about a topic that affects your life. Whether you are young or old, rich or poor, I want to talk to you about the cost of healthcare in Singapore. This is a topic that I'm very concerned about. Since entering Parliament in 2011, I've raised healthcare cost issues many times with the government. Many senior citizens in Singapore worry that it is better to die than to fall ill in Singapore. This is very sad. We are already a developed country by all economic measures. We have one of the highest GDP per capita in the world. If you are a senior citizen, you should not have to worry about not being able to afford your medical bills. Not after you have worked all your life to help build this nation. Yet in Singapore, this is one of the top worries of the elderly. But it is not just the elderly who worry about this. If you are a young working adult, even you may be worried. Because very often, you have to pay for your parents' medical expenses. In 2010, out of the total amount of Medisave used for elderly healthcare expenses, 45% was withdrawn from their children's Medisave accounts. These are not my numbers. This is from a reply by the Health Minister to a question I asked in Parliament. This means that almost half the total amount of Medisave withdrawals for elderly patients come from their children. But what if their children are also struggling to make ends meet and raise their own children? In Singapore, the elderly have to depend on their children to pay a large part of their medical bills. The PAP government tells you this is self-reliance. The PAP government makes you set aside money for your Medisave accounts. But you can only use Medisave to pay for certain types of medical expenses. Why? Because they don't want you to use up your Medisave before you get old and then have to depend on the government. But then, the PAP government tells you that you must use your Medisave before they can give financial assistance to your parents for their medical expenses. What is the logic here? If you use up your Medisave paying for your parents, you will have little left for yourself when you grow old. I have said in Parliament that if we are to achieve the goal of universal health coverage, we need to expand the coverage and increase the payouts of our national health insurance scheme, MediShield. This will help to reduce the cash payments when you are seeking treatment. Recently, the government announced some enhancements to the MediShield health insurance scheme. But this enhanced coverage will come at a cost, almost all of which will be borne by you, not the government. You will have to pay more in premiums every year, and the deductibles, which is the money that you have to pay before receiving benefits, will increase by 50% for C-class ward patients. Why is there a need for such steep increases in premiums and deductibles? Between 2001 and 2010, MediShield collected over $2 billion in premiums. and paid out less than $1.3 billion in claims. This amounted to $850,000 more collected than disbursed over the past decade. So MediShield is not exactly losing money. The MediShield scheme has huge economies of scale and faces little competition from customers, competition for customers. I believe MediShield can take on bigger risks on behalf of Singaporeans while still maintaining healthy margins. If it can be operated more like a national health insurance scheme rather than a commercial, profit-oriented one. The Workers' Party will continue to press the government to lower the healthcare burden on Singaporeans so that if you fall ill, you don't have to worry about financial hardship, but can just focus on getting well. Voters of Punggol East, we are here tonight because we are asking you to vote for our candidate into Parliament, Ms. Lee Li Lian. I have worked with Lee Li Lian in many areas of party work since I joined the Workers' Party. Most recently, we have been working together as part of the Workers' Party media team. I have 3 words to describe Li Lian: energetic, enthusiastic, empathetic. Energetic because she's always full of life and full of energy. This is very important if she were to become your MP, because it is a job that requires a huge amount of effort and energy, both in the constituency as well as in Parliament. Enthusiastic because she knows what needs to be done and can rally the troops to get it done. So with her as your MP, you can be sure she will solve constituency problems with great vigor. And finally, empathetic. Li Lian is a people person. She genuinely cares for people and tries to help them as much as she can. I'm confident that Li Lian will be able to serve you with the same energy, enthusiasm, and empathy as she has served constituents in Hougang and Aljunied GRC and in her party positions. So when you go to the polls in 1 week's time, vote for an MP who has the experience on the ground, has the heart to serve, and has the ability to speak up for you in Parliament. Vote for the Workers' Party and vote for Lee Li Lian.